Well, hello, 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 and welcome back so soon. This is Julie with the Jewel Design, and we are here today. I decided just to jump on and get it going with our sort of Mother's Day envelope ephemera piece. So a great way to maybe create something a little bit more handmade, whether you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, even in your 60s, and your mama still loves pretty things to look at on her desk, on her table, on her where she does her bills, maybe just where all her photos are, right? Maybe it's just somewhere where she gets to admire really pretty things. So there are hundreds of ways, of course, to make your own handmade envelope, but I love sometimes taking large envelopes that you may get in a digital kit. For a while there, I was making all kinds of large envelopes from the 4-flap, the scallop clutch purse version, just a standard sort of envelope. And I was like, I don't always want to put an envelope full of things, in the journal. So I'd have leftover envelopes, as we have here. And this is for the Welcome to the Garden kit. And I didn't really see a place in the journal to put it in, but I love the colors. The greens and the pinks remind me of my mom, and many other ladies, of course, that I love and adore. And so I thought I'd just sort of give you an idea on how to use the elements provided to you in, a couple different ways. Potentially in a couple different ways. I'll talk to you about it as I go along if I think of something. But we're going to turn this scalloped clutch purse envelope into more of a standalone decorative notepad and pocket. So that's what we're going to do today. Hopefully gives you some ideas with something that you have, something that you want, or cutting elements and shapes and sizes similar and making your own. But sometimes when you buy a lot of digitals, there's all these excess pieces, and what do you do with them? And can we use them in any other way that isn't always just fold it, make an envelope? What you can make this in an envelope, stuff in your own little ephemera card, large ephemera card in it with your personal note for Mother's Day, and you're done. You can do the same thing I'm doing and not really, make it a full opened up element also. So it can go many ways, but I love playing with these, and usually not in your standard way, not in your standard tradition. At the beginning, when I first made these in the digital kits, yes, I folded them, I cut them, which you'll see what that sort of looks like. I just won't glue it down. And we just put large journal cards in there, right? I made them hopefully big enough to take in the large journal cards and the instantly back journal cards, which are great. And then but then I just got tired of always having to have a large pocket to put them in, because they're stout, and if you fill them, you have to put them somewhere. And we've gotten pretty crafty with using these things and making them more of a standalone element. When I was first doing digitals, Lorette Chandler of a Vintage Paper Girl wanted something a little different, wanted something a little bit more fancy. And she's actually made quite a number of gorgeous clutch purse type ephemera holders with this basic layout. So between the two of us, this envelope was sort of born. And you do your best to cut the scallops on the top, and then the bottom, which is a little different. Most people don't do is they just give you, you just go straight across with the bottom of with the upper flap of your thing. Usually just fold it up and you have the bottom flap of your, back flap of your journal, of your ephemera. I actually put, using your 1.5 inch circle punch, pretty close, decided to create this little 3-punch, reverse, whatever, so that when instead of just having one thumb notch for this, we have 3. So it sort of became my, somewhat signature piece, and then the 5 humps at the top, and there are many pieces that are very, very similar. We all have a slight variation in them, but so that would be your basic envelope right then and there. So let's do the proper scoring so that we can see where that could be the potential. If you have one of my kits, or you have someone else's kits, my porch prints, pink porch, pink monarch prints, foxy creations, everybody, and we all have large envelopes, we all do. But, you can use them as they expected, and you make a really pretty piece of ephemera, and you tuck it in. It's just, I think, decorating the outside sometimes, it's decorating this that just takes it to the next level and makes the envelope itself just a little more special, right? And then, if you decide to go one step further, as I'm going to do today, we're going to take this envelope, and it's still going to close up and tie up like an envelope or a purse or like a clutch. but we are going to let it open up and be sort of a place where you can put a small ephemera piece in there to write your Mother's Day note. We're going to put a notepad in this one, so you could decide to leave maybe little quotes on the bottom of each page, so she can look at each page, write a note, a special memory. So if once you score it, which my scoring is always terrible, no matter how hard I try. You have your tabs here to give you the gusset of your thing. Now you can do this either way. You can gusset to where you see it. You can see those flaps, or you can hide them. Usually hide them. You can always continue to cut it, but the nice part is having this little oomph here, right? This little tweak is just a little different, and it looks really pretty because you have the lovely scallop on this side, and then you sort of have that reversed on the inside. So personally, that's just something I enjoy and like the look of, and thought was really pretty at the time. And I always try to do a floral type back flap, so that whatever this is, as simple as it may be, you've got this gorgeous flap here, because you have this really pretty front, right? So why should the back of your envelope look bland? So having something of this nature always on my scalloped flap to the envelope is always beneficial. So let's get it inked, because no matter what we do with this thing, it still needs to be inked everywhere, inside and out. So I did put a light gray brick paper on the inside, a little lighter than what you guys actually get in the kit. I think I lightened it up. I don't know. I don't remember if this is the actual color of the thing, or if I lightened it up some more. I don't remember. Probably think it's what comes with it. I think I gave you the light gray so that you could see a little something, but you could also write over it very easily. So it's going to be a great base for this, because we're not going to have to worry about whether or not. Now we are going to see this. I'm trying to debate if I can. I don't even know if I can. I went a little too far in the black. This kit happened to have a lot more black outlining in it than I would have liked. Some of my kits have no outlines, and you're like trying to see everything, and others you're like, oh, that's really harsh. You can go back over the green and whatever your ink may be, just to sort of lighten it up and try to tone down that darkness, because you really, once you get going. So I'm using the flaps and the pieces in different ways. In this case, this top flap, I believe. So we're going to do this, and they're going to open it this way, I think. Because the way it's done, I'm left-handed, so I don't know which way it would go, but I love the prettiness of this. So I think we're going to do it where I'm going to design it to where you're going to open it this way. This flap will be your top flap to your notebook that we're going to create with our eco-dyed and copy-dyed papers. Right? So you can go all the way down with it. And then the bottom one, I think we're going to cut off because I don't need it. I mean, I could leave it to make it a small tuck in behind, but I think we're going to use it as something more helpful for this side. Now, I was going to put a pocket on this side, and I just realized there's a scallop in the way. So if I didn't cut it out, then I would have had these big old dots on the other side, which I could have decorated, which I didn't think about that. So I cut them out by habit because I was trying to show you the kit. But really, I probably should have left them, so I would have had this whole thing. And I could have just covered this with some kind of, any of my fabrics, tools, fluffy, and we could have made this decorative on the outside. But I didn't catch that. So what we'll do is probably make this a tuck. So whatever ephemera card I put in here, it'll peekaboo through these holes when we close it. You'll see the journal card some, which is fine. It makes it pretty. But we'll make it more of a tuck here, or of an angled pocket to tuck something into. So I did not think about that. So yes, keep in mind while you're doing stuff, what we need to do and how we need to do it. Working your way through it. But we are going to reverse. Sometimes I don't, depending on the write. If you're going to write on all of this, I would not suggest inking the seams. But since in this case we are definitely using each panel, each piece as its own separate piece, it's its own separate entity. We're going to let it ink, and so you can see the pieces. So we're going to cut off the bottom line. We'll leave the pretty one on top. And we'll use this as just a decorative piece somewhere else within the... Hope you're all doing well. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's video. I know I'm doing this pretty quickly, Wednesday, Thursday, which I normally don't do them two back to back. But I want to give you time if you had an idea and you were going to see your mom or godmother or grandmother or somebody this weekend. Give you a day or two extra to, maybe throw something together because you wanted to share a little something. These are great also to thinking of you items, birthday cards. No one says it has to be generic, especially if you don't have a lot to say, but you want to give them something pretty. It's sort of a 2-in-1, right? So I just cut that, so let's hope this is what I want to do. This is our deal, which we will then put something here to help wrap around so it stays sort of closed. So look at it here. You'll turn it around. Yeah, that really wants to be that way, and I went the other way with it, huh? Well, yeah, look at it and just hope that they flip it open. See, no matter what I do. I don't know. I do this, and I'm like, I want to go this way with the flap. Which is interesting, because when I'm tucking in cards to people, I'm always turning it this way and tucking it in. So it is my natural. I'm not giving this one away. This is for me. But yeah, think your way through on that one, how you actually open something. You may want to decide to do it the other way. Ephemera here, notebook here, this here. We'll put something here so we can put some crinkled sari silk around, crinkle ribbon around it to keep it closed. So a little bit of a flip-flop, but okay, you have to think, yeah, no matter how you do it, think your way through it. Each panel is going to have its own sort of personal feel to it, right? So, it's not a specific perfection here, but that's all right. Okay. So the easy part really is just cutting up some pieces here to make your notebook. I'm going to do some, it just fits. I hate to trim it off, but I might have to. No, those are interesting on the back. Oh, that one is at least. That might be a little harder to write on. Wouldn't mind front and back to be able to write on these, but I just grabbed it. I was like, oh, that's pretty. And then I was like, oh, that has a specific something to it, doesn't it? Okay. As we find out, eco-dyed papers aren't really straight either. I don't know how or why that's the case. I don't know. Let's go this way so I can do the same thing. Get two, just get two of those 4 of these. They're all the pinky color, so we want to do that too. So, all right, let me go cut these down so we can make our notepad real quick, and then we will decorate the front. We'll do a quick little pocket here, and we'll decorate the front. So we have a little decorating Mother's Day event. So just 1 second. Okay, I just did a few pages. I did just, 2 beige, 2 pink, something little, nothing too wide, because we don't want this to stick out too much. It's just a cute little notepad to sort of commemorate the day, or the birthday, or the whatever. But because I'm using that flap as sort of our header, the top piece to keep it all together. And to hide, which of course I left on the other side, our little tiny stapler pieces. That we get a little tiny stapler from Tim Holtz. So get it in far enough to make sure that your tab is going to cover it. You want to see those staples. That's the whole point of what we're doing while we're doing it. And there's still a little bit more to turn off the bottom. I'm like, not quite. Now, if I wanted to, maybe, let's see if this will work. Get that Tim Holtz out. We're Tim Holtz Day. We got our inks. We got our decal. We got our... I am losing all of the pretty coloring, but that's okay. I can always de-stress it if I wanted to, but we're going to cut the bottom off a little bit more with the decal edge. So we've got a little bit of flare here on the bottom. I just realized my daughter texted me with an image. I don't know what that image was for. I really hope it's not telling me, come back and get me. Yeah, don't send me images, send me text. Okay, so yeah, I think we'll start with the pink. Since it's a peachy pink, it sort of goes with our color theme. You can sort of see there's some note pieces underneath. And now we can glue. We're going to do glitter glue top and bottom. Of course, pretty simple, right? You can use fabric tack if you want, if it seems an easier or more flexible for you. You can use your glue stick. You can use whatever you want to get your notepad in place. Just sort of keep testing it out a little bit so that you feel like it's centered or it's straight enough to not be kicking out. I just noticed, like over here, I have those. I may be trimming those up outside of your pocket area there, right? So that's not outside the panel that you need to worry about. Hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having fun. I hope this is maybe just a little bit of an inspiration. It triggers something to make for your people this weekend. Could be, like I said, could still be birthday. Could be thinking of you. It could be BFF. It could be any number of things, right? No one says it has to be just for Mother's Day, but we are getting into that time frame. So I am going to trim these up. These ended up sticking out weird, or I ended up cutting unusually, even with the cutter, right? When I do the slide roll, it has a tendency of definitely moving on me. This is just going to be a cute piece that might end up being a thank you maybe for the journal. One of the two Welcome to the Garden journals. I got the skinny notebook version, skinny like traveling notebook version, and then we have the new 9x6. So, okay, so this is green on the outside. I figured we continue to use the green paper maybe on the inside, and we'll do a quick cut and tear to create, I don't know whether to do a washi. And what I'm doing a washi version will be a better, I mean more of like a tuck, so that we can put a full, like medium to full size journal card in here. I think it'll be pretty if it's sticking out. I just know whether to go the proper way or go short. If I go short, we're just going to see this continuous back and forth, which a little decorating might be funner than doing it long ways, which then your decorating is long and so is your ordeal. So let's do this. Let's just do a little cut. A little cut. I hope if you are a mom, a grandma, an aunt, a godmother, an important figure to somebody in your life, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Get some wonderful plans. Lots of love. And, get spoiled in some manner. Or you get to spoil your mom. Because that is something that we try not to take for granted if we are able to. We are still able, and I'm a little postponed. We are going to sneak in, and of course my mom will probably watch this and she'll know now. I guess it's not sneaking in, but I don't know. I have plans with my mama on Monday, but there may be a surprise visit there too. We'll see. My girls want to see Grandma real quick, so we may make a quick. I'm like, good, then you can drive me. That's what I'm doing. I'm like, then you can drive me to my mother's. I'm making my oldest drive as much as possible. Except today we're running behind, so I had my car in hand, and I was like, yeah, no, not driving my car. You have your own car we drive when I want to, but like, no, can't do anything to my car. I can't replace my car. The Honda, I can't replace her car either, but at least her car can be replaced with a cute little, you know, what do you want to call it, one-off, couple $1,000 commuter car if we had to. But my CRV is Honda's little crossover, small one, and you know, it holds things, it does things. We do not mess with that. That I can't afford to replace. It'd be another little four-door, and with the kids and color guard and band and, you know, events where we're hauling food and, you know, gosh knows what else. I need my little crossover to work. It's amazing. It has a great backside, so back large tunnel. So I'm like, I am not messing with that. It is a little light. This is just paper. It's good paper, but it's not cardstock paper. But that's okay. We're not trying to put a lot in here. We're just trying to put a single card in here and not worry about it, right? So what I do feel like doing though is maybe pencil. There it is. Everything we were doing yesterday. I was thinking about trying to find the right angle here and maybe trimming off just a little bit so that it's not so straight. I don't know if I did that any better or not. Here, now I'm trying to go sideways, right? Wanted to mimic that curve up here because it seems to be straighter down here, but there's a curve there. And that just has to do with my inability to cut straight. So there's the operator error when you're cutting any envelope, that you may have to make a few adjustments because, you know, we try to follow lines or whatever, and we go, well, that didn't work. Not as we were supposed to. But I hope you get to spoil your mom or female person in your life, whether it be a grandma, an aunt, a godmother, mom. Maybe it's your sister. Maybe it's just, you know, maybe you got a sister. And whatever the deal may be, if you get to spoil somebody this weekend. If not, spoil yourself. Goodness. If nothing else, make sure you spoil yourself. Okay, so there's that. So as we see, you know, we had a card ready to go. We have plenty of room in here to make a decent sized card. And then it would if we decorate it right, the whole point is that you'll be able to see some decoration and print here on this end peeking out. So you're like, oh, what's this? And like, oh, there's a card in here, and open it up and away you go, right? So we'll do that. I do have, I think I need it though. I need to do it somewhere else. I'm like, I do have a potential card to be made, but who knows? All right, so we have a little tuck side pocket. We have a little notepad, so you could do little prints here. You could do little quotes on the bottom of each page, right? Something to do. Could even go as far as decorating this side if we wanted to, but I think when we're done putting stuff in the front, I think just having something here, whether it's a hole punch or we'll put, I wonder if we could get that underneath. Get the stars, but I can't really wrap around it, huh? I'm trying to think. We want to do, I can do that there, and I could put sorry silk, but I can't. I have to come across the top of it all over again. Yeah, it'd be cute though. I'm like, oh, that'd be pretty, but I might put that one in the corner though. But yeah, we're gonna do something, some kind of wax seal or button or something here so that we can wrap stuff around. But I do like this one up in that corner, just like we were doing with the papers. I'm really liking that 3D effect and thought, and you know, enhancing the digitals that are there. So sort of continuation of last week, right? Well, we did all the 3D stuff, and then my thingy died, and so you didn't get to see all the 3D work because I had to do a quickie. So I did do one. I realized I was talking about that yesterday, and I was like, did I do a video? When did I do a video last? I did one for Saturday. It was supposed to be a Saturday morning craft. It ended up being a Saturday night show and tell because, yeah, the darn thing went the wrong direction, and when you, all of a sudden you're in a vertical YouTube short format, but yet you're filming on its side. Doesn't go for a very good video, so I just had to show you guys what I did do and do a little bit of 3D, so we get to continue on with that a little bit here today. So I love that there. We got to figure out what to do here to help, help close it off. So we'll keep in mind that when we're decorating that there's going to be some kind of crinkled ribbon probably through here. So we want to try to keep this sort of void of anything so we don't squish it. So we want to decorate over here. We want to enhance maybe this corner up in here, but we definitely want to enhance maybe more over here where it's super plain so we can have this beautiful element all the way across. So I do have some of our pink lace left over. We had that white, which I put glitter on it. I should put more gold. I can put more gold everywhere. We can do this. We can do, don't know how much white. Sort of creamy, huh? I don't think I have a cream. This one's sort of cute. This is pretty though. If I really wanted to bling it up, this would be really pretty, but there is a lot of beige tones to this, so I don't know if white and rhinestone is the right. I think gold accents are great, but I don't think that's going to work for me. I wonder if this is too much. Well, this might be too much, but if we really wanted to bling it up, if you had someone really special who's just going for it, could just glue and do this little corner here. We have this here. We can put some of this in here. I've got a couple different pieces. I got some greens and stuff, so I think we could really enhance this. Let's see, we could do that. It's a little country, but I feel like we could do, I have this beautiful green mossy snow stuff left over that, let's see if we can do a little, this tears it all. Sort of. Not well, though. Tears only one way. Tears only one way. Well, I'm like, well. Ugh, there we go. Maybe. Ooh, got it. Maybe. Right, just go for it. Of course, you have with snow stuff everywhere. As you can see, there's white fluff everywhere. Let's see if we can make a mess of it. We want to make it messy. We want to clump it. We want to put some gold over it. Right, we've got this going. We've got this here. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could put this on the inside along that pocket if we wanted to add some more green to the inside area or across the top. Where's our piece of paper? Oh, there it is. See, I could layer this and that a little bit on that pocket on the back and the inside. So on the inside, let's do something with this. Get some green tones going. But let's see what we can do here first. So I've got the potential of this. I do have to glue the back though, because it's all, so if I want to cut this and just use this little bit of oomph. Ooh, I don't think I have to. Maybe. I was like, do I have a string in there? I do. Doing with some of these appliques. We're all on camera, and I'm way back here. I am so sorry. Here, let's see if this does that help a little bit. Didn't realize why I got so far back. Goodness gracious. I feel like we're dark again. I don't know, guys. We have to make sure that when we're doing something, I think it's already hard. Make sure you use your fabric tack when you have a lot of appliques and lace things like this, that you glue where you're going to cut across the strings. That way you're sort of helping keep them attached to the mesh so that they don't come undone. Because the moment you cut it, so it's going to go up here, or down here, huh? Is there one down here? Yes, but I'm going to cut it right off. When we're doing these, you don't want everything to unravel the moment you cut it. It's still probably a little tacky, but that's okay. It'll dry. And because we're using it as an applique, you know, you get to keep the other part. And I love when I see like a shape, a size, a thought that just sort of naturally, see, just sort of naturally blends right into that flower. It's at an angle. I think we're going to go up from the bottom. Everything's just sort of clustered in this bottom, but we want to make sure there's enough clearance when we open it that it doesn't catch. We will trim off the mesh. You see, this is what we're going for. We're using some gold, we're using some pink, we're using some green. I probably, of course, I have it that way, and I don't have. No, so yeah, the snow mesh is actually up on the other direction. So let's see if that makes much of a difference on the angles. And I turn it the other way, but then you don't really feel or see the snow mesh. But I liked how that laid out, so we're going to deal with it. Snow mesh can go down. That's okay. Snow mesh does not have to be bumpy where you can feel it. It's just more the context. It's the texture that you get to see or not see. All right, so let's center that. Let's get that going. Let's sort of just start plopping it down. And then I will add some pearls, I think, to this. I just didn't think all white with a silver rhinestone was the best color combo. I have a hard time mixing gold and silvers. That's me personally. It's like me mixing a bunch of different patterns. I love when I see someone do it in a room, but I can't personally do it myself. I have to, the worst block. I go, oh, I can't do that. It has to be the perfect match. My poor kids. They come about their OCDs and their weird tweaks so naturally. Oh, they get it from me. I'm so sorry. But yeah, we're just, again, enhancing what we have, right? Sort of expanding the look, the feel. We will do some stuff over here. I know we're going to do some either glitter, for sure. I think I'm either going to do glitter in this gold, and we're going to do some stickle in any areas to sort of expand the gold into this corner, into the door area. So there's a reason why we have gold in this corner. Now I got to try to get this glue over this to make it work. Probably to put glue on the back of this one. All right, so let's sort of bunch it, glitter it, like we did in the other pocket. We're gonna use my finger. Don't use the wrong finger, girl. We're gonna do this. Didn't want it to be too off to one end. I do want it to bunch up and sort of cover this corner. There we go. I think I might put the glue on the back of this. I think it's gonna be easier if I put the glue where we can see all this gold. Put all the glue on this more solid surfaces, then I think it's going to be a lot easier to glue down than trying to guess at where the glue needs to be on the, what's the word? On the, texture down here. I should be using something else. Okay. We want to do it to where lays out in the corner, and I've got this sort of blending in like it's going behind the flowers over here. And this may be where a good place is to put a couple pearls or something. I could probably do 3 pearls in here in that void. Not sure what my neighbor's up to. He's driving around a lot. Okay, so let's sort of, I want to just sort of like, I'm sort of trying to tear, I'm not just trying to cut it, I'm trying to like yank at it while I go, right? Maybe. Oh, do we have a mess? Okay. We don't want perfect. I don't want it perfect down there. Oh, here we go. Gluing it down, press, press, press. Let's get pearls. Pearls. Those are little ones, those are big ones. I have 2 sets. Well, maybe just the one big pearl. I do have a large pearl. Instead of having to continue to do clusters, remember you can do 1, you can do 3, you can do 5. Up to 7, depending on what you're trying to fill. So I could just put 1 big pearl in here. Instead of trying to find 2 or 3 smaller ones or different size ones. I could do 3 different sizes, but I don't think I have 3 So one large pearl to help fill in that gap might just work. If I felt it was weird, I do have smaller pearls. If I just was like, nope, I have to do more dots or something, I could do one up here. I could do one here. I could put two more pearls somewhere else to help with that if I need to. I got that. Now before I do any glitter stencil on the outside, let's get that inside decorated just a little bit, because we don't want to, and see, we still can put our sari silk through here and it's not going to get in the way of anything, which is always good. So inside, we were debating then maybe we could center this in the pocket. We could, they didn't want the text upside down if I could help it. So, cut it at the same angle. Yeah, we could have some fun with this. Okay, so let's go down a little bit. I'm going overly long because we want to cut the same angle. And I want to try and cut, and I always do this backwards sometimes. Let's see if I can do it right. Aha, a little off, but it's still cute. That ribbon feel there. Same angle as the pocket, or as the indent. Go here. And if we find, oh, I could put some pink mesh. Let me see if I have any pink snow meshes. I think I do. Underneath that for some contrast. And just a little, nothing too bulky, because we don't really want it to get in the way of it closing, but that's why we're putting a sash around it, so it's not the end of the world to keep it closed. But let me find some of my pink stuff. Oh, let's do a little bit of pink underneath it, and that'll help break up all that green, right? I'm not doing perfect cutting. I don't mind that it's a little messy. We'll cut off the edges, bring it in a little bit. This is pretty inked, so let's just make sure we got all the edges inked well. Let's see, a few little pieces, some scraps, things that you've got around the house. You know, you can make yourself a cute ephemera piece, card, whatever. And we're not trying to write on this one, so I just realized, oh, yeah, huh. Well, that's not going to work, I just realized. I got to take that, I actually got to take that lovely, what do you want to call it, off? It is too bulky. Nope, that is too bulky for what we need to do. Sorry. Oh, even that's in the way. Oh, shoot. Yeah, both are. I didn't realize that the gold bead would be in the way. And if I try to cut that out, you sort of lose the oomph. Well, rude. Okay, but I'm going to have to take it out. If we want to write on it, it's in the way of writing. It's going to get in the way of writing on anything. Well, if I was selling this, it would definitely be in the way. Though I was sort of thinking of it as a thank you, but I was sort of thinking as a thank you to whoever purchased one of the welcome kits, welcome journals, since it goes with the kit. But yes, and I already have my mom taken care of. So, but I've done it. I've made cute things, or she's bought in kits and things, and I've gotten scraps, and I'm like, ooh, this is cute. This is right up her alley right now. And, you know, I've been known to. We're not trying to create a tuck or anything. We're just decorating with that last piece of the envelope. So we're not wasting any of the envelope. It's getting used one way or another. I won't go too far in so we don't get too bulky at the fold. So it doesn't get in the way of each other. There we go. We still have this lovely effect here. And I get a pink, I have to say, I think I have a small pink pearl we can do on the inside. But yeah, guys, that's bunchy on the outside. I didn't think about that. Not, you know, when you're doing stuff, you go to decorate something just like I did. I cut the holes on here and went, oh, I just lost the ability to do a pocket this way because I cut holes here. I mean, I guess we could have still done it, but I don't think it would have had the same effect. I wish I had bigger pink. And by the way, if you don't have a lot of stuff, I do have a journal kit, starter kit, and we now have the rubber thumb, or silicone thumb glue, whatever you want to call these in them. And we added some bulb pins to it. So I did enhance the, not that one. Let's not use the glitter glue. I could use the glitter glue, but best if I don't. I did add a few more things to our journal kit. Our journal kits get you Velcro, bone folders, the glue bottles with the toppers so that you can keep them closed and sealed. It has some bulb pins, or antique colored bulb pins to help you with some, you know, little tassels and dangles. And now there's also the silicone thumb thistle glue things. You see me, I'm trying to, you know, not use my fingernails, trying to press down with this, and it doesn't, the glue doesn't stick to your finger, and neither will the item. So that's cute on there with your pocket. Helps make it a little thicker. Which reminds me, I need my bone folder. Felt like all of a sudden this was sticky, and I'm like, oh, I hope not. I think it's just tight. There we go. Okay, so I want to make sure we're all good. Okay, so there's that. So the only downside we have now, doesn't get in the way too much. It seems pretty decent. There we go. It's okay if it's a little poofy. Is that this gets in the way. Oh, no. Yeah, I worry a little bit about that because that sort of makes for a bummer when you're going to go right on the other side. It's going to get in the way. So a flat pearl or something, I can put a little white pearl in there that's flatter, but I can't put this guy. So the moment I cut this, I'm going to have to glue right behind it. So it doesn't come undone. Let's get it off. We're going to glue everything down. Oh, we're going off the camera. Not that you can see, but yeah, I just cut one little string, just one, laying it flat across the middle where the string is. So I cut the little gold ball off. I took the string, I just cut the one end, glued it down, and we're going to put a flatter pearl in there because that gold ball is definitely not, you know, it's on its side, so it's not flat. It is not a flat pearl in any sense of the manner, so in any sense. Okay. I just realized this is coming up a little bit over here, so I'll just get some glue, doing some TLC over here. The nice thing is, yeah, you can press down with this or a silicone spatula or whatever, but the whole point is to be able to press down and help it glue in. I know hands are warm and it helps, but then you stick to it and it comes right back up. All right, so let's get a flat little, those are too little. All right, let's do this. We're gonna get a tiny stringed pearl. It's a flat back pearl, but it's on string, and we're going to just plop it right in place with my tweezers, and I'll show you. I know, pearls on top of gold, but I still got my pearl effects, right? That's a lot thinner. I'm hoping that that is going to make it a lot easier, since it's, you know, to then open up. And yeah, that's better. It's still a little bumpy, but it's not as, the other two items were definitely too big. So if you want to keep in mind, to make it usable, we have to think about, you know, where all the elements are. So I'm loving the extra here to pull from the colors here. So now we just need to do our clasp and wrap it, and then I'll know where to put the glitter and the stickles, and we'd be good to go. Not too hard. I need a little bit of glue. So I just now have to decide how I want to close it on the other end. Now I could try to put the pearl on the other end, but I don't know if that will be enough. Sorry guys, I'm looking for my crinkled. Aha. You gotta decide pink or green. There's a lot of green, but I might just have enough green left over. I don't use my pink that often. You know what? I really should use the pink. Let's see. Mauve, peachy pink, pale pink. I think this color goes better. I know it's probably hard for you guys to see. Ugh. I'm like, no, but I don't have much of that green left, and I love the green. I'm gonna have to order more from her here soon. I hope I can get some from her still. A lot of stores are struggling right now. Okay, what is this? Oh, my scrap cabin. Yeah, hopefully she's still around. All right, so Usually when you do something like this, sometimes you want to be able to either put something here that you can wrap around and wrap, you know, and wrap it around. Sometimes you go past it. It's just there so you can tie a bow. So if I do actually, if I put a white hole and clip, then I can put it through and we can tie a bow. That way, we're not really blocking anything. And I have white ordeals here. Ta-da! There we go. What I could do, which I haven't done in a while, is you get 2 different circles and you can make your own little paper, how is it? Binder hole, like paper protectors. Binder protectors, whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to go about, try to find middle, go up high enough we don't rip anything. Ta-da! And then, of course, you put this on the top so you can see. Get the other half of your my hands are going to give out. There we go. I always try to make sure you got a hold of it, but there we go. Crimp. Ta-da. Right? Pretty flat. Now, like I said, you can find sometimes the binder paper hole protectors. You could cover that up so that it's not rolling or catching on your stuff as you weave things through. I don't even know where those are. I had hordes of them at one point, but I have rearranged that concoction or collection so many times. I'm like, I don't even know if I have. I know I have some somewhere. That's right. I have some hole enforcers. There they are. But do I have any pre-colored? Those are brand new kits. I'm like, I used to have a packet of them and colored ready to go, and I don't know where those are anymore. I may have finally used them in my last. When you're doing ring binder journals, these are great. You can stencil them, you can color them, you can ink them, and you then, you know, are able to do whatever you need. But I can't find mine, which means I probably finally used them all. I probably finally went through a whole stash of them. Well, they're there, but I don't know if they're colored. Let's just not open the new ones, right? You can get them from everywhere. No, I don't have any colored. I just have a stash open. Okay. Well, let's stencil up a little bit, especially in the green. Ooh, there we go. Let's do some in green. Now, if you do it right, you put a piece of paper underneath it, then sometimes you also get a really cool polka dot effect underneath it on a piece of paper for a cool way to stencil something, right? Just try getting the crevices and whatever. I'm going a little dark on that one. But see, then you end up with this cool stenciled polka dot effect. I'm covering that side up. That's the only reason why I can do that. But I want to see if by chance this will cover enough so that the slightly rougher end of a brad there isn't going to catch on your yarn, your ribbon, your tulle, your lace even. If you're putting something through here and you don't want it to catch every time you slide it in and out, this just works. It's not perfect. I'm a little off-centered, but it helps protect it. And so I don't feel like I'm going to shred my ribbon every time I slide it in and out. Right? Because we don't want to do that. But I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Spoil yourself. Spoil the loved one. Spoil your mom. Spoil somebody. Go spoil somebody this weekend. Like I said, it could be yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. Spoil thyself is not a bad thing whatsoever. I am all stoked about our projects. There are many projects that we're doing right now, our mini series on the, I realize it's not a box, an ephemera folio book. Because that's in the end what it reminds me of, is if you were looking at the book pages, if they were decorated on the sides, that's what it reminds me of. And, you know, it has a spine, it has a gusset, so we can open it up to make it a 4-panel folio with pockets and all this jazz, all this fun stuff we're going to do with it. But yeah, I realized I considered it, I'm like, oh, it's like a book. Like it's more of a book than a box. Because, you know, a book has some open elements. So you can do it here, right? And you can tie your knot. The thing right here is going to keep it from going anywhere. Tie your bow. I don't tie straight, so you can, you know, figure that out. I'll fine tune it. That's the only downside, right? Seems good until someone gets hurt. No. It's always fun and games until someone gets hurt. Cheese and crackers. Perfect for Mother's Day, right? Mom's advice ringing in our ears. And then I pass it on to my kids, and they go, "Oh my gosh!" And then I will hear my youngest repeat my words, and she's like, "Ah!" It's hilarious watching it like dawn on her. I sound like you. And I'm like, "Yeah, and you're only 14. Ha. You are well trained, more trained than you realize." Okay, so it's sort of simple here, and that's okay. I really wish crinkled ribbons stayed a little bit more crinkled when you tie something because, you know, of course, it's tension, right? So let's add a little bit of glue and glitter in some spots out here. And then I'm going to do the glitter glue thing first because I don't want to drop any real glitter into the stickle. So I want to keep them separate. So I'm going to do what we have to do, the whole draw with glitter glue, shake something on. And I am literally like, oh, watch, I'll show you guys. I'm going to zoom in. I am literally going to draw, if I can get it to follow. I'm going to draw some lines where some of the stem work is to enhance the, I don't know, just the branches, right? The branches, the middle of the leaves. Try not to get the bubbles in there. Really thin lines. It's not going to hold a lot of glitter. But this was my version of, this was my stickle until recently. And I know this green looks good with it, so it's the only reason I'm using it. I think my mom gave me more of a Christmas green. So we're going to do this. And I think we're going to do a little down here. Because what I'll do is when I shake it from top to bottom, it'll catch things on the way down. And then if I need to, I can do some more. Okay, let's see if this works. Usually, paper, I can do it on here. You always want something underneath it. But as quickly as you can before everything dries. You know, you just shake it down, shake it on, shake it down. That way if you have stuff down here, it sort of covers it on the way down, which is always nice. Shake, shake. Tap, tap. Sometimes I get a small brush in here, but I don't know if I have one available right now. So we're just going to leave it, and then when it dries, really dries, I will go ahead and, you know, take a small soft brush, and I will try to wipe off the excess, a little extra, even more excess glitter. You can go a couple different ways with it and let it fall into anything you're working on, but there you go. See, now we've got some circle. But yeah, I will wipe off some of this excess so that it only enhances what we want it to enhance, and we're not enhancing, you know, all of it, because that doesn't make it very pretty. Or doesn't make it very special. I shouldn't say pretty. It's all pretty. Can't go wrong with glitter. But it's not as special when there's glitter everywhere, right? Let me see. I do have a soft brush right here. Let's see if we can do it. Because sometimes what happens, I end up brushing across what's wet and forgetting that it was wet. And I'm like, oh, well, I just wiped all that off. But you can get a nice soft paintbrush. And you can just sort of, wherever there's not glitter, or not glue, we don't remember putting glue, you can brush that glitter right back into its container. So when, you know, you're not wearing a bunch of loose glitter later. What was I dealing with again? Oh, I was dealing with some of our spring and summer glitter tool the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm covered in glitter again. It's been nice not having to, but hey, you guys want it? I want to make sure I can get it to you. All right, there we go. See, and then so that now it's cleaner. Now we've got cleaner gold green accents, and then I could get my stickle and continue on with the gold, and we can use it just about anywhere I want to. I mean, I can just highlight bits and pieces of the where there's sort of highlights in the brick, right? We can just sort of give it a little bit of where it's sort of a shadowy beigey cream color here. I'm going to put a little gold to enhance those areas, since we pulled from the gold, and we pulled from this cream color to suggest or even rationalize the gold. Well, that's a little much, though. I'm gonna, and if I have to with the stickle, I can always wipe it off, press it back on. Yeah, I'm gonna wipe it off. What did I do that with? Something else I had. I had something in my hand where we kept wiping it all over it too, huh? What was it? One of my flower pieces. I just keep adding gold to this flower piece. Pretty soon it's going to be a very gold flower piece. Ugh, right? All right. I want this down here, but maybe not as much as I had down. I think I had a little too much. There we go. A little less. Oh, I just missed it. My cheese. Get my fingers in it. Typical lefty and getting our hands on all of our mess. So we got some gold here highlighted. And I think to the side here, I can get a little bit of gold in here. Just a little bit. I don't want to get rubbed on too much. Yeah, I'll just do a little. It's how the graphics laid out. Not really. Nope. There's really nothing enhancing there, so I'm just sort of making lines to make lines, and it's not what I want to do. But truthfully, I think I really am glittering up this. I am going to be glittering up this little applique piece. I'm like, that's just, it doesn't stay on there very well. How funny is that? Okay, nope, there's not something over there like I was hoping. I don't think she gave me pink. I said, if anything else, we'd want to put more green over here, but we have it over here, so I think it's just a little over here. I don't know what other colors I have. I know she gave me a white, so I could do some white on the door, things like that. So I'm going to do some highs and lows. I think we got gold for shadows here. I'm going to get some of the snowflake and iridescence, and I'm going to do some of the white highlighting on the door. And then, I'd be good to go. So I won't do that now. I want to let you guys go because we are already going into it, and this being a Thursday afternoon and 2 videos in a row. Yay, thank you very much for watching. I so appreciate that. I want to be able to let you go so you can try to go create yourself your own. Oh, there it is. I'm like, where'd it go? Your own Mother's Day, thinking of you, loving, sort of women, like International Women's Day, but Mother's Day. Let's make the most of it, right? Let's get an extra day in there. Why not? So yes, I want you to think of something, and whether it's to spoil yourself with a piece of ephemera that you haven't had a chance to work on, whether it is for a loved one that you get to see this weekend in person, so you get to wrap it up and hand it to them. Even if it's just thinking of you, and you send it a little late. Put it together tonight. Give yourself a moment. Enjoy the creativity. Find that piece of ephemera or papers that you have left over and take your goodies, enhance it, make something out of it. Don't always feel like you have to use it exactly as it is. Now, you could have left it as done the same thing. Left it as this sewed glued down the sides and tucked a gorgeous piece of ephemera in there too. No one says you don't have to do the same thing to the front. Make it lovely. Close it up, right? And have something stuck inside. No one says you don't have to do that. But we just are doing it to where I can put a little journal card in it, and I have a notepad, and it becomes a very interactive envelope instead of just a simple envelope with one journal card in it. So make the most of the ephemera. Make the most of what you have in front of you. Enjoy every moment of it, and get your creative juices flowing, right? So I love you all very, very much. I will see you next week. I want to keep going with our journal kit. If you didn't watch, I'll put it at the end I'll put it at the end here. If you missed it, this is our tall, ephemera holding book, folio book. I got that in there. Not sure if I like it, but I have an idea, I think, how to hide the fact that it is not a flat, flush book because of the wider things. So when we put the paper down, we'll see how it sits. But I have an idea how to hide this slightly not so flush bookend. But these days, my daughter even just bought a book, and all this is painted in a beautiful scene, and it's become the new thing for the spines of the books. So I feel we can call this an ephemera folio book, and it's going to have all kinds of, we're going to put some pockets and flips and things like that inside it. So hopefully you'll come back and watch that next week. I will put the link at the end of this video so you can go back and watch how I started creating that. In the meantime, there is our lovely little Thinking of You Mother's Day ephemera piece made out of an envelope from a digital kit, and hopefully inspires a little creativity for yourself or someone you love. So I'll talk to you all very soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.